Hello guys, this is Rahul Bhaiya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. How are you? How are your studies going on? So today we'll discuss a very important yet neglected portion, of GS history, that is early medieval period, right? Though the entire medieval is neglected, but within medieval also early medieval is too much neglected, not just by students but also by teachers. So UPSC also knows this. That's why you will see that in the past 5 years UPSC is asking question from this portion. Right. So now let's see how to approach this portion, early medieval period for pre as well as mains, right? First let's try to understand this. Now see, this period roughly starts from 600 to 1200 CE or 7 to 12 centuries. So there are two divisions of this period. One is 600 to 1200, other is 750 to 1200. So Upender Singh ma'am's book, which is considered the authentic source for ancient India, you don't have to read it, it's for teachers, considers early medieval from 600, and in history optional UPSC considers 550 to 750 as post Gupta and 750 to 1200 as early medieval. So in any case we have to do post Gupta also. So in early medieval we will cover from 600 to 1200, and for the purpose of more clear understanding, early medieval period can be divided into three subparts. Part 1 600 to 800, part 2 900 to 1000, and part 3 1100 to 1200. So now let's move ahead. So this part 1, so in this part 1, this Harshvardhan and his contemporaries and Chalukyas of Vatapi, right, and Pallavas of Kanchi, these three are the main actors, and there are other actors also. So other actors are important for prelims, and these are for mains as well as prelims. Whatever is important in mains is automatically important for prelims, but whatever is important for prelims may not be necessarily important for mains, like the minor dynasties. When we'll see the PYQs, you will understand this, right? So in the second part we see that this tripartite struggle and Palas, Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas, they are the main actors. Then imperial Cholas, so all of us cover imperial Cholas and we leave the other portions. So in 2021 question in mains GS first paper was asked on Palas, right? And though Cholas are definitely important, but there are other portions also from which UPSC is asking questions and will ask questions in future, right? So we cannot ignore them, because 2025 onwards prelims has become so tough that if you do one doable question wrong, you are out of the game, or one silly mistake, you are out of the game. Itna mushkil ab ho gaya hai, right? So that's why now we cannot ignore these portions, and fortunately for us UPSC इसमें बहुत deep नहीं जाता है. UPSC is only asking, you can say, superficial questions in prelims specifically. Mains के भी are easily predictable. They are not going very deep. This is fortunate for us. So leaving this portion means that आप अपनी top ranks को छोड़ रहे हो. Looking at the level of competition 2024-5 onwards. अब आपको सारे portions करने पड़ेंगे, because if you leave any doable portion, I am not talking about abstract portions, वो तो कोई नहीं कर सकता. Abstract questions you'll find in all the portions, हर GS, geography, history, economy, current affairs, सब में कुछ तो ऐसा मिलेगा जो नहीं कर सकते. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what is in your hands, which the topper students will do, right? So अगर आप भी उस लिस्ट में आना चाहते हैं तो you cannot ignore these doable questions, right? Then this third part here, Chalukyas of Kalyani, this is the main actor, and you can say other minor actors like Parmars, Chauhans, they are important for prelims, right? So right from 2013 to 2025 PYQs are very important, and in that also last 5 years questions are more important, because they tell you about the latest trend, right guys? So first we'll look at a question of mains 2024, and then we will discuss prelims questions, right, last 5 years. So now see this 2020 to 2024, right? So Pala period, as I discussed, right, this also usually students ignore. Then Gupta in ancient people do, Chola, yes, students do, right? So again Cholas and Guptas are important themes. Now look at this question, question number 4. estimate the contribution of Pallavas of Kanchi for the development of art and literature of South India. Okay, अब इसको देखते हैं how to deal with this question, right? देखो similar questions will be asked in future like Chalukyas of Vatapi, Chalukyas of Kalyani, okay, in mains I am talking about, right? Harshvardhan, okay, and you can say Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas, these are future probable questions and they are doable, okay. So let's now move ahead with this question. Now see guys, what I have seen is that a large number of students, okay, they do not initiate answer writing because of the fear of writing introduction and conclusion, okay. तो इससे बाहर आओ. What is more important is the main body, okay. Main body of the answer is most important, and intro and conclusion are also important, but first you practice, okay, writing main body in point form, okay. Once you will do this, automatically you will learn how to write intro and conclusion, right? So first we will try to write the body of this question, okay. Now see there are certain frameworks, okay, which are also applicable in history. For example, any question on any dynasty, usually they ask contribution in the field of art and literature, okay. So art comprises of architecture, sculpture, painting, right? So whatever is applicable, you have to fit in this framework. If you will write like this, you will definitely get 1 or 2 marks extra from other students, and you know this is a competition, so here you have to get an edge over others, right? So in this framework we will try to fit what is applicable in case of Pallavas. And then in literature also, what we can do is, again, Tamil literature in case of Pallavas, Sanskrit literature, what you will see is Sanskrit would be common, then there would be Tamil, somewhere it would be Kannada, somewhere it would be Bengali, etc., depending on the demand of the question, okay. So now let's try to fit in this contribution in the field of art, okay. So architecture, let's see. So real beginning of Dravidian temple architecture took place under the Pallavas, okay. They not only built rock cut temples but also structural temples, okay. This we discuss in detail in class. And the Panch Rathas, okay, they are considered an intermediate stage between the rock cut temples and the structural temples, okay. So very simple here, just write few examples. It's a 10-mark question, so you get in exam 7 minutes to write 10-mark question and 10 minutes to write 15-mark questions, right? तो ये पहले से आपकी प्रैक्टिस होगी तभी आप अच्छे से लिख पाओगे एग्जाम में, राइट? नाउ सी हाउ सिंपल इट इज, ओके. सो एग्जाम्पल, महाबलीपुरम वराह केव टेम्पल, पंचरथास शोर टेम्पल, okay. So here shore temple is structural temple, Varaha cave temple and Panchrathas, okay, they are rock cut temples, right? Then in Kanchipuram, which was their capital, Kailashnath temple and Vaikunt Perumal temple, these are examples of structural temples, very simple, okay. Then sculpture, so relief structures at Mahabalipuram, very famous, UPSC has also asked in prelims, okay, like Arjuna's penance, okay, / descent of Ganges, okay. On 2 boulders you can see this in Mahabalipuram. Then near life size sculptures of an ascetic, an elephant and other creatures, right? Very simple. Then painting, now this most of the students would not write, okay. So here if we write this, we'll get 1 mark extra, that the Sittanvasal cave paintings, which are basically Jain cave temple, okay. So here you can say Pallav ruler Mahendravarman, he initiated the art of painting. So some paintings of Mahendravarman first are also found in these Sittanvasal cave paintings in Tamil Nadu, right? So you just have to mention about this. This Sittanvasan UPSC has also asked in prelims, okay. So see how prelims and mains are integrated, okay, right, very simple. Now let's move ahead. Contribution in the field of literature. So first Tamil literature and then Sanskrit literature. Now see, rise of Bhakti movement, the South Indian Bhakti movement, okay, took place under Pallavas. And poets like Appar, okay, Appar was a, you can say, contemporary of Pallav ruler Mahendravarman first, right? He was in his court and he converted him to Shaivism. Earlier he was a Jain, right? So itna nahi likhna hai, just mention this, Appar and Sambandar, okay. They were associated with the Pallava court and they contributed in Tamil Shaiv Bhakti literature because these are Shaiv Nayanar saints, very simple. Now see, Sanskrit literature, okay. So Pallava rulers gave patronage to Dandin, okay. Dandan wrote Dashkumar Charit and Kavyadarsh, right, important for prelims also. Then Bharvi was associated with the court of other kings also, but with the court of, okay, Pallava rulers also, right. Siha Vishnu, so he wrote Kiratarjuniya, a famous Mahakavya, right. Then the Pallava ruler Mahendravarman I, okay, he himself wrote a religious satire, Matta Vilas Prahasan, okay. It is a satire on many aspects of, okay, Hinduism, Shaivism, okay, Jainism, Buddhism, right. It's a religious satire. So again, these are important for prelims also. Here you have to write them in a very structured and systematic manner, okay. Now some of you will say, sir, itna thodi yaad rahega mains mein. Even if you write 70% of it, you will get good marks, ठीक है. So अब आते हैं intro and conclusion पे, right. देखो, see, intro में क्या करना है, just you have to introduce, okay. Like if you know that Pallavas were ruling between 7 to 9 centuries, this was the main period, तो बस ये लिख दो that Pallava rulers, okay, who ruled many parts of southern India during 7th to 9th centuries, significantly contributed in the field of art and literature, for instance, and then write your framework, start कर दो, ठीक है, very simple. Now conclusion. So in conclusion you can write, आप आराम से लिख सकते हो that Pallava period was a crucial period in the history and heritage of South India, okay. Or you can write that they made significant contribution, okay. Or you can write that Pallava period was a landmark period in the history of art and culture of southern India, right. कई तरह से आप लिख सकते हो. इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील. बिग डील है आपका मेंस का बॉडी, ओके, जो आंसर फ्रेमवर्क है. सो इन मेनी क्वेश्चंस इट इज़ पॉसिबल टू राइट द फ्रेमवर्क, उसमें आप चीज़ें फिट कर सकते हो. सो व्हेन वी डू दिस इन क्लास, हम इस तरह से ही डील करते हैं, सो दैट इट बिकम्स ईजी फॉर यू टू राइट, ओके. सो इंट्रो कंक्लूजन इतना बड़ा इशू नहीं है, ओके. जैसा मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ दैट कंटेंट इज किंग, ठीक है, कंटेंट किंग है. प्रेजेंटेशन, हाउ यू प्रेजेंट इज क्राउन प्रिंस, and intro and conclusion are minor princes, okay guys. So now we'll look at prelims.